Hey guys, Kevin here. This is the first video of hopefully many more where I go around Reddit and just try to make videos based on questions that other Redditors post that's related to After Effects or motion graphics. Today we're going to go look at this post I found a few days ago about how to go about setting up a project in order to make something like this, something that's clean and just like you could edit pretty quickly. So yeah, here's the video. I hope you enjoyed my content. Please like and subscribe if you want more or you want to keep following what I do here. Cool. So I'm browsing through Reddit and I run across a post asking about the comp setup for this set animation. It's a zoom in into different oscillating colored shapes. It seems pretty simple enough, and I think I could do a tutorial on it, so here we go. I'm going to start off with a comp 2048 by 2048 and begin the project by creating the separate assets in the final animation. So in order to achieve a clean project setup, I'm going to create multiple comps with different animations and then put all those comps together into one master comp. And in the master comp is where I will set up the look of it, get the cameras, make everything in 3D, and have it animate in. So I'm going to create a shape layer, start with a circle, double click the circle, and it will automatically size it up to fit the comp. Let me adjust the size of the stroke. Let's see here. Cool. So once I get it to fit just right, duplicate that shape layer after it's done and adjust the size. Notice how I'm not adjusting the scale of the layer, but instead adjusting the size of the actual shape. Adjusting the scale will also affect the size and thickness of the stroke. So adjusting the size of it will keep the strokes all in unison and the same size. Okay, cool. So now that I have that set up, I'm going to add color. I'm going to choose some colors that work well together. Nothing too specific, but just colors that work well. So after I trim the layers and cut and create duplicates, I'm going to adjust the colors by using the fill effect. So it looks like the sequence of colors are moving outwards from the center. So I'm going to select the color of the layer before it. So I'm going to start adjusting the length of these a bit. See, maybe 20 frames. I think 20 frames is a good length. Cool. And now I'm going to do the same to the copies and continue this pattern until I have a sequence animation. Cool. Now I'm shortening these a bit because I think it's just too slow, so I'm gonna see if that's a good speed. Just play it back. Cool. Now that I'm done, I'm going to pre-comp all these circles, and since they're a loop, I'm gonna go duplicate and move the pre-comps from tail to tail, from head to tail, so they're looping. adjust the length of this to 15 seconds in case they're longer than I intended. I'm going to duplicate the GFX1 comp into a GFX2 and create an alternate circle animation by adding an adjustment layer and just shifting the hue. This is a quick and easy way to create alternatives to comps. So I'm just going to shift the hue. Cool, that looks good. I'm going to do it again one more time. Now that I have 3 different circles, I'm going to create a pulsing circle animation where they scale in and out as opposed to shift colors in and out. Instead of having a stroke, we'll have a fill. Scaling it right so it fits. So I have it scale in at 20 frames and scale out 30 frames afterwards. And I will easy ease that keyframe. Go to the speed graph, change the settings to show speed. So these anchors in the middle, I'm going to adjust it to about 75% influence on both ends. About 75, that looks good. There we go, we have it in and out. Cool, now that I have it going in and out, I'm going to pre-comp it and tile them down so then they form a column of circles. I'm not going to even try to eyeball these so then they're spaced evenly. There's actually a cool trick. If you go to the Align tab, there is a button that actually spaces all the layers out evenly from one end to the other. You just have to select all your layers and click which alignment plane you want to use. Then I'm going to offset them so it looks like they're going out from the center. Cool. So I'm going to pre-comp these circles and duplicate them and rotate them about 60 degrees around so they make a star. Cool. Let's add a little more to this animation by having the color change as it goes in and out. So I'm going to add a hue effect on the adjustment layer and keyframe the color range. Shift the hue a bit, and then you have a more interesting animation. Cool, I'm just gonna loop these and save the project, of course, before I forget. Cool, so now that that's set up, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the circles in the original 3 animation comps and except do them with squares and rectangles. So I'm going to speed through this since it's the same process and I'm using the same technique. But I'll just speed through it just so you could just get an idea of how I did it. Alright, cool. Now that I've made alternate squares and rectangles, I'm going to now make a master comp, create a 3D camera, make sure it's 35 millimeters. It just doesn't have to be 35 millimeters. I just prefer a wide lens, so it looks like there's a lot of movement, and make sure it's a one node camera. Now I'm gonna add the first comp, scale it and position it right in 3D space, and add the other pieces. It's adjusting the camera going in, trying to find the right speed for the camera. And now I just place these in the project, just in 3D space, and it should play, you know, normally, or they're looping animations. Cool. So you just place these comps in 3D space and adjust them so they're visible whenever the camera moves them into frame. It's pretty easy from here on because there's not a lot of creative juices going on. It's just pretty much just placing your assets in there since they're already made. So I think after I've done a good amount, I pre-comp the whole thing and duplicate the layer, shift it a bit so it's offset, and shift the hue, add another hue effect and shift the colors so it looks different than the first comp, and then you have a loop. And you could keep this looping for as long as you want. You can actually make the pre-comp a little longer if you want, add more variation, but this is the gist of how this project is set up and how you can go about creating this type of animation or any type of animation that's similar to this. Hey, thanks for watching the video. This is another video I made that is using the same setup as the tutorial, but using different, it's a different look, different assets. This one has flowers coming in and blooming as the camera moves in Z-space. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you on the next one.